Good afternoon. In today's video, I will be going through some new items that I got from the Scrappy Wife. So if you'd like to see that video, stay tuned. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, I am actually an ambassador for the Scrappy Wife, which is Elisa's shop. She is phenomenal. She comes out with a lot of these really cool inserts. She also has dashboards, covers. She has like planner charms and key rings or keychains for in her shop. She just recently came out with stickers, and I'm kind of bummed because I wanted a couple stickers, and right now one of the sets I want is sold out, but I'm guessing she'll probably restock soon. So I do apologize. I'm a little behind on this because I was under the weather. So I wasn't able to like film and get everything going. So now I'm going to go through my order that I got from the Scrappy Wife. So it's over at scrappywife.com. I'll put the link in the description down below. So I appreciate if you would shop her shop and kind of give her the support, because she supports the planner community so much, and I think it's very important for us small shops to kind of support each other. So I did get a few things from this last one. So I did get the wellness planning insert. This was something that was already in her shop, but I really wanted to start working on wellness. So I kind of was doing some trackers this last month. I've been tracking my water, making sure I take my vitamins, and then doing like some gratitude and everything else too. So this month, I kind of wanted to focus a little more into that wellness and self-care. So I did get the tracker. So this has a week thing where you can do self-care activities, gratitude list, habit trackers, and sleep trackers. So then you get a whole year's worth of inserts for each week of the year. So I like this because I can just take one insert, I can pop it into my planner at the beginning of the week, and then throughout the week I can go through and track these different things. One thing I haven't been tracking very well has been my sleep. As I'm yawning because I'm talking about sleep. I apologize. So that is something that I kind of want to get back on track, because I have been, so differential in the times that I go to sleep and the times I wake up. So I kind of need to put myself more back into a routine, because I used to be on a routine and I always felt like I had a lot more energy. It's probably why I was a little bit under the weather too, because I haven't been taking care of myself the way that I should. Plus I had allergies like really bothering me, and then my sinuses were awful. So it was giving me such bad sinus headaches that I could hardly sit up and function. So this is something that I really want to really focus on, is, keeping track of not only my sleep, but making sure I'm taking my daily vitamins and supplements. I'm sitting down each day and unwinding and kind of brain dumping, because I think a lot of times what I've been doing is I've been going to bed with a lot on my mind, and then it's like my mind's constantly like cycling through all those thoughts as I'm trying to fall asleep, and it's causing me not to fall asleep when I should be falling asleep. So I think if I had, kind of like some wind down time where maybe I like, make some like, decaffeinated tea, kind of maybe put on some like music, sit down and journal and kind of unplug from devices like earlier on in the evening, I think that will help me fall asleep a lot better. But I do want to pop this into each week of my planner moving forward. That way I can track all of these self-care things and kind of focus onto my self-care a little bit more. Next thing too is I did get some dot grid filler paper, because I do like to make different pages for my planner. So that's something that I'm going to be doing moving forward, especially, with the self-care in spring, is, just to have a pack of like plain dot grid paper on hand. That way I can make like, things like my bucket list or other like, different fun sheets for my planner. I've also, I need to play catch up a little bit in, my Bible journal and everything too. So I think it would be fun to be able to make, some pages that kind of help myself refocus on my Bible studies as well. So I did pick up a pack of the dot grid filler paper, and this is in the grande size. So Elisa has 3 different sizes. She has her tall, which would be equivalent to like a mini size of a, so for example, you're looking at Happy Planner or Kell of a Plan, it would be equivalent to a mini size. And then the grande is equivalent to a classic size. And then she also has venti, which would be the 8.5 by 11. So that would be equivalent to a big size. I actually used to be a big planner, but I just most recently this year, I switched to a classic size. And that was in part because I did have a lot of inserts and other like planners that I kind of wanted to blend together for my Franken planner. And a lot of those only came in that classic size. So I felt like it was more functional for me to give myself one planner. So what I do, let me pull my planner real quick. So I do need to switch the cover because I had it for Valentine's. But what I do is I have the tabs in here which aren't labeled. But my very first section is, this is my catch-all planner in the very beginning. And then I do have a social media planner, which is the Kell of a Plan dashboard planner. And then I have a budget section, my face section. Then I have, my budget section's in there too. I passed it. My budget section, I have my faith section. So then that way I can do my faith journaling and everything. And then I have a reading planner, which I am working on right now. I'm kind of doing a reading planner / reading journal. So I'm going to kind of start tracking my reading because that is something part of my self-care as I've been getting books from the library, and then like kind of to unwind at night, I've been starting to read at night before I go to bed. So that way I'm turning off electronics and I can kind of just, get that me time that I deserve, especially with a 2-year-old running around. But I wanted to make some fun tracker pages and stuff like that. So this will kind of be fun to have a pack on hand so I can make those separate trackers as well. And this is so cute. This is her little art card. I'm going to actually use this with the other ones that I have into some of my journaling pages. And then the insert that I am most excited for is going to be the 1 moment dated journal. So this is something that I think is really important, especially with me being a mom with a newly 2-year-old son. He just turned 2 he was a leap day baby. So I guess February 28th / March 1st is when we kind of celebrated his birthday. So we'll say at the beginning of the month, he turned 2 years old. And I do have a happy planner, like the baby memory journal that I did for the first few months. And of course I got busy as a new mom, fell behind a little bit. But I think it's really important just to take a moment each day to kind of journal and celebrate a win every single day. So when Elisa released this, I knew I had to jump at the chance to get this because it's something that I can keep memories, especially with my son, without having to overwhelm myself by trying to keep track of doing all these different scrapbooking or, memory keeping pages. So this is the way that I can just sit down each day. And if it's something that I didn't do a lot today, I can journal about that or just write down what I'm feeling for the day. So you can kind of make it your own. And I think it's great because, it kind of gives you that chance to focus on a small win every single day. So as you can see, this insert is thick. But it's great because, she has each month in here. So basically you just flip the page and you're going to have something new every single day. So it is going to go through the whole year. So you're going to get a page for every single day of the whole year, which is why it is so thick. So you're going to get 186 double-sized pages. And, I think it's great because, I can just sit down and I kind of do want to decorate it and, maybe insert a photo here and there, but make myself a dated journal for the year. So I'll probably back plan the first couple months because I can go back through my phone or my planner and kind of see the things that we did each day, and I'd be able to take things those days. So that might take a little time, but moving forward, I do want to pull the pages out of them and kind of start to do them as I go. Then that way I'm not too far behind because, when we have with today's, we'll have these all will be back plan pages. But again, like I said, there's certain things that I can go back and reflect on in my planners or, my journal and stuff like that to kind of see what I did. And then I do want to get some photos printed out and maybe every few days, maybe place a photo or two on the page just to kind of have it a nice memory journal as well. So that's how I'm going to be using this insert. But again, you don't have to decorate it. You can just sit down each day and brain dump or write your thoughts down if you wanted to. And you could just write it on the plain paper and you don't have to decorate. I'm somebody, of course, being a decorative planner, I have to go above and beyond and I would want to decorate every single day, which I know that's going to be thick. So I'll probably have to get some super expander disc to put this on something. So I'm going to kind of look on Elisa's website and see if I can find a nice cover. I did get the cover and inserts from her last release, which I do love this composition. So I made myself a notebook for, so I have the BFF Connect with Kenya. And so I did this, and I have a notebook to where I have like filler paper and other things in here that I can kind of journal. So I just used some letters and put it on there, and I made this like a journal. But this is from the Scrappy Wife as well, which are these like beautiful composition notebook covers. So she does have other colors. I happen to have the pink one is what I got, which I feel like I should have did purple for Kenya. But you know, to each their own. So I think like I do want to possibly go back and get one of those, and I like that I can just use, you know, some letter stickers and label the front of it, or, you know, put other decorative stickers on it, which is really fun. I know, you know, back in high school, middle school, whenever we used composition notebooks, you know, a lot of times we would take our stickers and we would decorate all over the cover. I did keep this very clean. So it is a little more minimal than what most people probably will use it for. But I think it's fun because you can get those on the website and use a little bit of functionality as well. So I am going to keep this video short and just kind of show you the things. And then once I gather some more things, I do want to do a couple plan with me videos using these one moment dated journal pages and kind of show you how I'm going to use them. So please, you know, stay tuned for those videos to come up as I, you know, gather some stuff and kind of get into those. But I did want to show you that those are available on the website. So I will put the link down below so you can go ahead and shop. And then if you get anything, I would also love to hear in the comments what you get from the Scrappy Wife as well. So thank you so very much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.